here, back here with another video. Today it's the 11th of April 2022. So guys, remember that these videos are strictly for educational purposes. So whatever that you talk about here is strictly for educational purposes and not investment or trading advice. Whatever profits or losses that are made directly or indirectly from the content that you take here, Stocks for Hope and myself, Sbo Dlamini, will not be liable for any of those things. So it's important that you do not trade money you cannot afford to lose. So that is our disclaimer right there. So today, guys, we're going to check out Bitcoin, the US 10-year yield, gold, the S&P 500, the NEDBANK, WTI, Australian dollar JPY, USDZAR, and then on the JSE side, we're going to look at TELKOM, NEDBANK, and of course, as SHOPRITE. So we are entering the second quarter of the year. So we might be seeing this. There might be some earnings that are going to come out from the US front. So since the first week, it's the second week rather of April. Also this week is going to be short because there's going to be the Easter weekend starting from Thursday onwards. So there are some interesting earnings that are going to come out from the US. As you can see that Delta Airlines is going to be releasing earnings. Bed Bath and Beyond is going to be releasing earnings there on Wednesday, and of course on Thursday banks like Citibank, the Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley are going to be releasing their earnings there on Thursday. So as you know that Citi, Goldman Sachs, and the Wells Fargo are of course Dow data components. So we might see some strong volatility there as going forward. As we know that the Fed is in the tightening part of interest rates decisions there. So moving forward to the economic calendar. So as we are seeing that it's going to be a very, very short week. So on Monday, we do have the manufacturing production from the GDP side. And then on Tuesday, we actually do have the average earning index there on the GDP side. Core CPI inflation number is going to be coming there from the US. And of course, there's going to be, I think the biggest story for this week is going to be the New Zealand interest rates decision there. And of course, there's going to be the Bank of Canada interest rates decision there on Wednesday there again. So then Thursday is going to be the retail sales from the US. So I think this one we're going to close off the week, the retail sales there, and then some initial jobless claims there on on the US side. And then of course on Friday most markets are going to be closed for Good Friday. So South Africa, the US, the United Kingdom, almost half of the world is going to be closed there for for the Easter weekend. So if we move forward now, we're looking at the crypto prices now. We've seen that for the past 7 days that Bitcoin is down about 8%, and then in the past 24 hours alone it is down about 1.1%. As you know that if Bitcoin goes down, the other cryptos also follow suit. Ethereum is a bit modest. The past 7 days is oh no, it's not modest. It's down almost 10%, 9.3%. And then if you look at the other ones like XRP, it's down 10%. That's really, really bad there. But surprisingly, Dogecoin is up rather than being down in there. So I think it's up with the news that Elon Musk bought some Twitter shares. So if we look at the Bitcoin price itself, we are seeing that from the previous video we can tell that we did say that on this zone right here, this blue level right here, there might be a rejection on this level, because there's still some other blocks there that were not executed when the market started to fall down. So now we saw that the market got rejected in this zone. So I'm still confident that the 34,000 is going to come back. Bitcoin is going to come back to this 34,000 level and eventually even go to the 17,200, 17,800 level that we have been speaking about for so long. So the US 10-year so the US 10-year again itself, it's still going in line with what we have been speaking about for about 8 to 9 weeks now, that it is going to go to the 3% level. So other brokers or other markets, they actually do an inverted chart like this. You're actually seeing things going down like this, but it's actually the same thing there. So when you see an inverted chart like this, don't be scared. It's actually the same thing there, but it's just the way how the person or the presenter is talking about, but it's almost the same thing. It's the government 10-year yield, because they are the gauge of how the US economy is strong or not, apart from the S&P 500. So if we're looking at the dollar index, because after we look at the US 10-year, we also need to look at the US dollar index, because they almost coexist. So they help one another. If the other one is going up, the other one actually tries to go up as well. So if you're looking at the US dollar index, you can see that it broke out of this bullish flag that we spoke about in the previous video, and now is actually pushing higher. Now it's trading at the $100 mark. It actually reached this $100 mark that we've been speaking about. Now we need to go and push higher to the $198 mark there on the dollar index. So we are seeing that most things that we're talking about, they're actually happening here on these markets. So if you're looking at the SPX, I'm going to look at the SPX, the futures chart, not the. I'm gonna look at the futures chart. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I had forgotten the ticker code that I normally look at. Okay, if we're looking at the futures chart now, remember what we said, that there's going to be this huge head and shoulder pattern that is right here. And then on the previous video, we did say that the market might actually get rejected on this level here, the right side of this future head and shoulder. So we are actually seeing that the market is actually downward, going on a downward trajectory right now. So we might actually retest this 4,200 level here on the S&P 500, and if things don't go really well, we might actually push even lower, maybe to the straight 4,000 level there on the S&P 500. So from here to the 4,000 level, there's a straight 400 points there on the S&P 500. But if maybe we do have some good earnings that are going to come out, maybe on the big technology companies, maybe we might see the market maybe bouncing on this 4,200 level, actually maybe trying to recover and go higher. But I do not see that happening. Why? Because most of these large cap companies there in the US, they didn't open and they didn't start off the year on a positive note because of the war and the sanctions that were brought on Russia. And so a lot of things, a lot of missed earnings are going to happen, like in the likes of Apple, Microsoft, like the FANG stocks, the big FANG stocks, and then maybe they are going to come up with some negative results in the future. So I'm not saying it will happen, but I'm just saying they might come out with some negative results, but we just have to see when things happen. So if we're looking at the big tech NASDAQ, so the NASDAQ itself, there's still this huge head and shoulder pattern that we are seeing right here. So I'm actually not going to talk much about it as well, but it has the similar pattern as the S&P 500. There's this huge head and shoulder pattern that is right here, and the market rejected on the right shoulder of the head and shoulder, and the market starting to go down as well. So I stated on my Twitter there that the NASDAQ is going to be under pressure this coming week. So the 13,000 level, it is pretty much looking attractive, and if we break down below this 30,000 level, we might actually see even the NASDAQ moving as low as 11,000 level. So if you are a technical analyst, you can just see that this structure just favors what I'm just talking about. That's the 11,000 level might actually happen if things are actually positive again there on the earnings side. You might actually see a recovery on the NASDAQ from this level that is right here, which is the 12,000, which is the 13,000 level. So we might actually see a recovery on the NASDAQ there on the 13,000 level. So if you look at commodities, let us look at gold. So gold, there's still pretty much space for it to actually to go higher. Then if you're looking at the weekly chart, there on gold, we did say on the previous video that gold might find some support on this level, and it did exactly that it pulled back higher. But now what's actually happening here is that, guys, this weekly candle, this previous week candle, now it's actually an inside bar. Ne? It's actually an inside bar from this previous weekly candle. So whatever direction that this candle from this week will take, the market will go in that direction. So if this week's candle makes a new high first, and this week's candle makes a new high, or it closes above the previous week candle, the market will eventually go higher. But if it closes below the low of the previous week's candle, the market will eventually go lower there on gold. But let us anticipate that things are going to be positive and gold will eventually go higher. So this candle is actually an inside bar. So this week's candle is going to be a decision candle, whether gold will go higher or gold will move down. So if we look at WTI, so WTI is a bit under pressure here. Is a bit under pressure. Oil is a bit under pressure, but I'm anticipating that yes, it will come back to retest this $84 level, as we said in the previous video. Oil will come back to retest this $84 level, and then maybe it will resume the upwards momentum. So oil, just wait for it to come back down a bit more, and then maybe we'll add some buy there even on oil companies like Sasol in MTN, because MTN is a hedge. When is a rand hedge stocks ne? Is a rand hedge stock. So I'll do a separate video about rand hedge stocks. So if we look at currencies, we said we're going to look at AUDJPY, right? So AUDJPY. So AUDJPY, if we look at the small time frames there, the 1 hour chart is actually telling us that price might actually get rejected. Okay, let me make this thing a little bit clearer. Okay, what actually happened here is that the market went higher and made this high, and then it pulled away. It came back to this level here again and made a double top, and then it pulled away. So now there's this candle that is right here, which is in this one that is right here, this small green candle, which is an FTR candle. So we might actually see the market rejecting that level, and then when it rejects this level, AUDJPY will eventually start to move lower. So that movement will be respecting this huge double top that is right here, and then now the market is pulling back to collect some more orders on this level here because of this FTR candle that is here, and then the market will eventually start moving lower. So AUDJPY, if you're looking at buying, you can maybe try to reconsider that again, but it's just my own analysis and thoughts. So USDZAR, so USDZAR on this previous week, it closed off positive now, but we are seeing that now it is gaining some strong momentum right, at this moment. But what might actually happen here on USDZAR? Perhaps the market might come back again, to retest this level right here again, the 1480 level. Then after that retest, USDZAR might actually be forming a double bottom right here, because this would be the first bottom, a second bottom, and then maybe price will eventually start moving higher. So I'm still pretty much bullish there on USDZAR itself. So if we look at the JSE side of things, now we said we're going to look at TELKOM, NEDBANK, and SHOPRITE. So TELKOM. On TELKOM, I read something about some concerns about user growth on TELKOM, that user growth might be a big stagnant there, and also the CEO Sipho Masego stepping down from the position. So all those factors maybe are being priced in here on the stock itself. But as long as TELKOM perhaps it's still trading above this level right here, let's say we are still safe. But the minute it starts trading below the 42, the 40, sorry, the 36 rand level, we might actually see Telkom actually moving lower. So I'm just trying to be positive on this stock. But as much as those news and sentiments are being said that there might be some slowdown on user growth there on Telkom. So let us look at NEDBANK. So NEDBANK, it broke off this this level right that is right here, the 220 level. So now it's actually coming back to retest this level. So on NEDBANK, you're pretty much bullish on this stock again. 258 still on the cards, as well as 292 level is still on the cards. So the last one is SHOPRITE. So on SHOPRITE, this retailer, guys, has been moving in a nice upward direction. What has been happening here on SHOPRITE, there was this cap and handle formation, and then it broke off this neckline of the cap, and then it started moving swiftly higher. So now it is trading above the 200 and what is this level, the 240 level. So we might actually see a pullback retesting the 240 level, and that SHOPRITE will actually move to its all-time high of 281 rand per share. So if earnings are strong on SHOPRITE, we will eventually see SHOPRITE moving higher there again. So guys, I'm grateful for this video. So remember that these videos are strictly for what educational purposes. Stocks for Hope will not be liable for any losses or profits made directly or indirectly from this video. So people should not trade money they cannot afford to do. So guys, please subscribe on this channel and let your friends know about us, and then I'll definitely check you out on the next video. So it's goodbye for now.